Hello and welcome to Cargo Masterminds presented by Cargo.one.
I am a big fan.
We wanted to be a part of it. So it's an incredible opportunity.
It was exactly what we needed.
It's really exciting.
When we found out, we were just blown away.
I would say it's perfect for every freight forwarder to use this.
It gives us advantage.
I would encourage my colleagues to go to Cargo.one.
Opinion, it is really a must to have.
I believe this system should be used by every forwarder. Everybody can be a digital forwarder by using Cargo.one. It's just been fantastic.
Cargo Masterminds is our exclusive one-to-one weekly interview series with the leaders from the world's leading air cargo and logistic companies. My name is Reji John. Air cargo operators exist to connect global trade and fuel economic growth and social well-being. Dual hub air cargo operator Air France KLM Martinair Cargo carried 1 million tons of cargo in 2022 to 223 worldwide destinations using 6 freighters and the bellies of the three-airline group's fleet of 417 passenger aircraft. A member of the SkyTeam Cargo Alliance, Air France KLM Martinair Cargo, starting this year, has a new partnership with CMA CGM Air Cargo, the new cargo airline launched in 2021 by the French shipping giant CMA CGM Group. The long-term partnership allows Air France KLM Martinair Cargo to offer a much more adaptable, comprehensive array of services and solutions to meet market needs and customer expectations, creating smooth connections across the world. My guest today is the leader with significant international commercial and operational experience, leading large teams in diverse business environment. He is now responsible for all commercial operations globally at Air France KLM Martinair Cargo. I'm thrilled to introduce GertJan Roelands, Senior Vice President Commercial at Air France KLM Martinair Cargo, the Cargo Mastermind of today's episode. GertJan, welcome to Cargo Masterminds. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. Very good to be here.
Let's jump straight into the questions, and I would like to start with the current air freight market conditions across the globe. It's been quite challenging time since quite a few months. Demand has been on the decline, and the financial numbers for the first quarter of 2023 reflected the same. Revenue down by 26.1% year-on-year to 672 million euros. Cargo traffic declined by 11.8% to 1.6 billion RTKs. What do you think will be the performance in the Q2, which ended on 30th June?
Indeed, a challenging period. If you look back in time, 2022, we enjoyed actually a very favorable air freight market because of all the supply chain dynamics. We already saw a change since November last year, actually, where we saw that companies were moving to a different kind of supply chain strategy, already building inventories way earlier and more. And in the meantime, we've also seen that inflation had quite a big impact also on consumer demand. And that basically has led already as from November towards now that there is less demand, less trade, so also more pressure on air freight. So that favorable supply-demand dynamic which we have seen 2022, that's actually the opposite right now. In the meantime, we also see that the capacity on the passenger side is growing. Passenger side is very strong, and that basically also means that the yield, there's overcapacity. Yield is under pressure. Yeah, if you look to the results, indeed, you mentioned our Q1 results. Our Q2 results are not yet published, so I cannot mention them yet. However, if you look to indicators in the market, then you see that on the average the market is down about 40% in terms of revenues year over year. So yeah, that is very significant, obviously.
You did make a mention about the impact on the yield because of the strong passenger belly capacity available on passenger aircraft, and there is going to be a huge belly capacity available, and this is going to have a severe impact on the yield, which is reality. How serious is the excess capacity in the market and falling yields in the months ahead?
I think good question. I think it's quite regional driven, to be honest. I think especially looking to the transatlantic, we see that still capacity is being added as your capacity. So we do expect there that the yield will be further under pressure, at least for the coming 4 to 6 weeks. However, we also see regions where we actually have quite a stable situation, like in Africa, which is quite important to us, and where demand is still relatively strong and yield quite stable also versus last year. So, but obviously also Asia is heavily under pressure already for a longer period. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixture of dynamics. But for sure, the coming period, we will still see a slight decrease, I expect.
But when you look at the yields and specifically or certain regions, do you get any sense that there could be some change in the months ahead, close to the last quarter of the year, which is normally the peak season? I'm sure that transatlantic there is so much of capacity available, but do you sense that there could be a change, some uptick in demand and a better yields?
Yeah, okay. There's always a seasonal change in dynamic. There's always less capacity to certain trade lanes, especially on the transatlantic. There will be quite a decrease on capacity, and that normally also leads to a uptick, at least on the yield side. Often combined also with some uptick on the demand side, since especially November, December are quite strong months. So we do believe that there will be some dynamics, so some sort of uptick towards the last quarter of the year. But if you ask me, will there be a significant change in terms of dynamics? At this moment, looking to all the indicators, there is no reason to believe that will happen.
Before I move into the next question on the main deck capacity, freighter capacity, just a follow-up question. I don't know whether if you had a chance to see what Xeneta Clive data that put out quite recently in terms of the fear of missing out on the belly capacity, and the rates are actually going down and down, and there's so much of capacity available. Instead of letting that capacity go without having any cargo to be carried, probably you bring down the rates and get the plane filled. Is that something that you see a growing trend or a popular trend among your customers and in the regions that you operate?
Yeah, what you obviously see is that now shippers, also because of inflation, because also cost levels on the shipper side are way higher than last year. So also they need to reduce cost, and logistical cost, transport cost is also something they all look at, and also for sure take the opportunity of a market where there is more overcapacity, and they all try to negotiate lower rates. So that also basically means that the spot market at this moment is very strong, quite an opportunistic market. However, we do see that where customers really didn't want to commit long term to contracts, slowly in some regions you do see that shippers would like to move again back to longer term contracts. Now, that is only in a few cases now, but that could mean that slowly we start to see that the market is leveling, bottoming out, and that we hope to see a bit of more stability. But for sure, the spot market is very important at this moment.
On to the main deck capacity, do you continue to see demand contractions for freighter capacity? And as the demand continues to shrink, are shippers and freight forwarders reworking their contracts from long-term to short-term or short-term to long-term? What is the sense that you get?
I think anyway, we always work based on seasonal contracts because, and especially with the current dynamics, it's very, very difficult to predict how a season will look like, how the supply and demand dynamics will look like. So committing for a longer period, I think, is in no one's favor at this moment. So we really try to be very close to our customers and try to find the best possible tailored solutions. And yeah, I think that is also a bit what the freight forwards are expecting from us at this stage.
Give us an update on some of the recent developments, like the relocation of your freighter operations in Mexico from the city airport to the new airport and the opening of the new warehouse in Chicago. How these new developments are actually increasing Air France KLM Martinair Cargo's value proposition.
So also we had to obviously move our operations in Mexico to the new airport, to the Felipe Angels Airport, IFA, and actually starting operations as from today. I think the good thing about that is that we are benefiting, I think new facilities that helps. I think if it comes to Chicago, very exciting news actually, because we really made a 5 million plus investment, completely renovated our own warehouse. We have our own warehouse there. And by doing that, also created increased capacity significantly. So we were able to increase our capacity by 40%, partly by extension, but also especially also by optimizing processes, systems, etc. So we're able to handle much more than before. Yeah, and I think also very important is we took the opportunity to fully reduce our carbon footprint as well. So we moved to all kind of electrical vehicles and equipment, and I think also very important and a good opportunity to do that all at the same time. So I think quite exciting news, and that brings us in a good position in Chicago.
Going forward, what kind of investment will go into building new infrastructure to support some of your key product verticals like perishables, pharma, and express?
So as I mentioned, so specialized products are very important to us. It's very important to optimize our mix on board, and also an important driver in our overall results. So that also means that if it comes to investments, it is to a large extent also focused on those specialized products. For example, perishables. Perishables are 30% in terms of tonnage of our business, and that also means that a extremely strong cold chain. Global cool chain is very relevant. So we have been investing a lot in cool rooms, but also on the technology side to make sure that we have full control in terms of monitoring and training all our staff, not only in our hubs in Amsterdam and Paris, but also in all the relevant stations where it's necessary, to make sure that you have this fully integrated cool chain network. So the perishables very important. I think if you look heavily investing there, but also on the pharma side. Pharma, we have been there already from the start. That means that we have a lot of people with a lot of experience and knowledge. We were the first actually airline group to become to get the CIV certification. But in the meantime, we do see that the market is changing. Customers are getting more demanding, expect more. Want to have continuous control, interventions when necessary, etc. And that also means that that we need to adapt. Also, we see that competition is increasing rapidly. So we have a very clear strategy for pharma with for the coming 5 years, with an investment plan behind that, and that is about infrastructure. That is about optimizing digital services. That is about further investment and training our people. And altogether, we believe that we, by doing that, we will keep our competitive edges as we have it today. But also another very important product is Express. We already invested there in 2 brand new sorters 6 years ago in both Amsterdam and Paris. We are now sharpening our Express product, and we're also now building towards a high-end Express product, because we believe there's a lot of potential there as well. So a lot of stuff going on in terms of investments and especially specialized products.
In April this year, the official partnership between Air France KLM Group and CMA CGM Group on Air Cargo partnership, a 10-year-long partnership, was ratified, all the required permissions. How do you expect the partnership to work in a market that has a declining demand and falling freight rates?
April is not a perfect moment to start a partnership like this, where the market goes down. On the other hand, the partnership also brings a lot of value. We are very excited and pleased with it. We really see it as a win-win for Air France KLM, CMA, but also a big win for our customers. And in a declining market, we will have or having at this moment the opportunity to really leverage the partnership. And we leverage that based on a few drivers. It's like the network will where we didn't have or hardly had any presence of Air France KLM in Asia in terms of full freighter capacity. Now, because of CMA, we're able to operate fully into China, PVG, Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and also Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, and most recently Mumbai. So that gives a lot of opportunity and more choice for our customers. But a part of that, we are completely back in the charter market. As Air France KLM, we only had 5 full freighters which were fully utilized. Now, by having the cooperation with CMA, we have the opportunity to really be back in the charter market and benefiting from that. And also, we are able to fully focus on specific full freighter products, which we could not accommodate because of our limited full freighter footprint so far. For example, oil and gas, for example, moving cars, etc. So also there, we will put much more emphasis on this. So yes, it is maybe not the ideal momentum to start a partnership like this. But on the other hand, we do have a lot of leverage and opportunities which we can for sure use very well at this moment.
I'd like to clarify on the current fleet or the capacity that you have available as far as the freighters are concerned between Air France KLM as well as CMA CGM Air Cargo. Are there 12 freighters or 10?
At this moment, CMA is operating 4 A330s, 2 triples. KLM is operating, Martinair operating 4 747s. And Air France is operating 2 triples. So that makes it together at this moment 12. 2 A330s of CMA are at the moment out of the JV scope. If you look forward, then CMA expects to receive 2 triples next year in 24, and then the 2 years after for additional A350s. On the Air France and KL side, we will replace our current fleet with 2 times 4 A350s. So together, we expect in the coming 4 to 5 years to grow to about 20 full freighters in the full joint venture.
GertJan, you operate out of 2 hubs, and that's because you are a combination of 2 carriers. With CMA CGM Air Cargo, you are going to have 3, of course, but then it's still Paris is the common hub for both CMA CGM Air Cargo as well as Air France KLM. What are the pros and cons? And when I say cons, from the perspective of challenge and complexity of operating out of 2 cargo hubs?
It's a good question. Actually, we don't see it as a con. Actually, we see it as quite a strong positioning. Why? Both the Air France and KLM network are very complementary to each other. We now also have CMA operating from Paris, and by combining that with a very strong, very frequent trucking network between the 2 hubs, we are basically able to offer our customers a full choice of destinations. So, and I think that's a well-oiled machine, and that works actually quite favorable from that perspective.
Okay, let's now turn to our attention to digital transformation and use of technology in your operations. And let's talk about MyCargo, the digital tool that allows your customers to check, book, and track shipment. When it was launched just over 6 years ago, it was started with a quote and book functionality, allowing customers to request quotes and based on rates distributed online. Its functionalities have changed since then. More robust tech innovations are available, including AI. What are the new functionalities and capabilities that you intend to offer to your customers as real-time and dynamic?
Thanks for that question. Actually, we are extremely proud on MyCargo. has been in a super agile way developed in-house by our own team, our own people. And I think that also makes a difference. At this moment, we already at 75% of our bookings online. Now that is quite significant for a B2B environment. And if you then look to the new services which we will be adding, that is the allocation option. So that gives customers the possibility to book allocations, but especially also to manage them. If you see now to customers who have a lot of allocations, it is sometimes quite difficult to keep track on them. If you go to MyCargo, you will see the full list of all allocations you have with us. You see the status, to what extent they have been booked, and it will help a lot of customers to get much more control, and it will save time and a lot of efficiencies. I think quite unique, and especially for I think customers like we have in the perishable segment, very, very important, and will be quite a game changer. And I think another thing that will come out in 3 weeks' time is the possibility to also make DGR bookings. I think also something which is rather unique in the industry, and also that we expect a lot from that. It was really on a strong demand from our customers to develop that service. Happy, very pleased that it will be available. I think overall we will probably grow towards 80% bookings online with this new services. So that these are quite significant steps moving forward.
And how does MyCargo integrate with other digital booking platforms and offer a seamless customer experience? We know that there are multiple digital booking marketplaces, and airlines like you work with all of them or most of them. So how do you make that integration possible for your customers?
First of all, we have a multi-channel strategy. That means that we connect to other channels as well. We do that based on API technology, and that also basically makes it possible to have a seamless journey for our customers. Especially in MyCargo, we offer all services. We do the same for direct connections with our customers, but we're also present on third-party portals and also certain software providers. So that has a slightly differentiated scope in terms of services, but it's all seamless. So what you see in MyCargo, that's also what you see real time also in all the other channels.
You said you have
I think maybe one thing maybe good to add is that API technology is really key. I think that also deserves more focus. I think if you really, as an industry, want to move forward and further digitalize, then standardization is necessary. So therefore, we also fully support the MCD standard, which is initiated by IATA, and I think that it's really key that it is being embraced even more.
You said you have about 75% of your booking is digital. When do you expect to have that booking 100% digital?
Good question. To be honest, I don't believe you will ever reach 100% digital. I think in the end, there's always a number of bookings which are very specialized and which will always require human intervention, tailored solutions. So in the end, I think probably we'll go max towards 90% of the bookings online, which is already extremely high, again, for a B2B environment. Okay, and that is making the booking and obviously the whole servicing part. We know that logistics is not always perfect. It's complex, and that human intervention is necessary. And we really believe that our people make a difference there.
Yeah, that's why you call it Bionic servicing, or what we can call is a phygital. Tell us about your Bionic servicing strategy, combining the best of your customer service staff around the world with the most efficient digital tools to offer a compelling experience from freight booking to delivery.
Actually, we always so we have about 60 plus local service sales organizations. We always found very important to be close to our customers, and we still find that. However, obviously the world has changed a little bit, and digital and technology play quite a big role. I think by introducing a new CRM platform, we're able to fully connect all those stations which we have globally. And that makes it basically possible to much better serve our customers. So that basically practically means that, for example, if in Belgium it's very busy and it will take 10 minutes to answer a phone or to react on an email, or that we're able, and well, in the Amsterdam office, we do have time, that we're automatically able to reconnect and serve our customer in the quickest way. That in itself is maybe not so revolutionary, but if you look, for example, the way that we are able to serve our customers, that will be quite different. So we will use their customer 360, and that basically will generate a lot of data of customers, and even predictive based on AI models, but that will come in a later stage, and that will give any customer service employee anywhere in the world possibility to give the best possible service. So we will always recognize a customer from Amsterdam, for example, in the US, in our US customer service organization. We will know exactly what the state of their business is and how we can serve them in the best possible way.
Before I move into the last question, I just want to get a comment from you on your recent partnership with Salesforce. Data is important, that every business knows about it, but the problem is that how good is the data, how you are able to make or find the data which is with actionable insights. Tell us the reason as to why the partnership with Salesforce, and what do you intend to achieve from the midterm to long term?
A good question. So if you look to our MyCargo platform, we were only able to build that because we implemented AFLS, and AFLS is basically our core system if it comes to pricing, revenue management, sales. Now we also had to change our backbone system basically on the CRM side, so where we had very old systems, and we will do that together with Salesforce. So with Salesforce, we'll build basically a new backbone system. And that new backbone system will allow us to really make big step forward and to really build very sophisticated tooling to better serve our customers. And obviously using data, because in the end combining data, so to know exactly what are the key destinations for certain customers. What do they have at this moment in the pipe? What kind of failures did we have in the past? What kind of outstanding claims do we have? And so on. But also at some point automatically go for solutions and to be able to offer that to customers, all based on data, and AI is the way forward. So, but we first need to make a step to build this platform, and we'll do that together with Salesforce.
Okay, on to the topic of sustainability and the proactive steps taken by airlines like AIRFRANCE KLM Group to partner with SAF, sustainable aviation fuel manufacturers, and make shippers integral to achieve sustainability and carbon neutral goals. How excited are you about such small steps?
I think it is very, very important, especially for Air France KLM. This is really part of our purpose. We really have the aim to see how we can reduce the carbon footprint of the airline industry, and in our case specifically for the air freight industry. Yeah, and we were also, as an airline group, the first to offer a SAF program for the air freight market in December 2020. And we have seen actually quite a uptick. There's quite some traction. You see that customers are more and more willing to step in. Obviously, driven also by demand from shippers, and we see, for example, quite a strong demand in the perishable segment. We see a strong demand for stuff in, for example, the high-end fashion segment. But we do believe also because of stricter regulation that this demand for SAF will only increase in the years to come. Yeah, very important, because in the end, if you look to key drivers, how to reduce your carbon footprint as an air freight industry, I think as an airline, fleet renewal is very important. So the fact that we now replaced our 747s will replace them by A350s, that is a significant step. It's already, in terms of CO2 reduction, it's a 40% reduction. If it comes to noise, it's 50% reduction. And then on top of, if you then also increase your levels of sustainable aviation fuel, that is for the time being really the way forward. That is really how we believe that we can reduce our footprint. A part of that, obviously, we will also on the ground, we have a lot of focus to see how we can go to a carbon neutral situation, and there electrification, for example, or using solar, those kind of solutions is very important. But SAF is extremely important driver moving forward.
GertJan, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Great to speak to you.
That was GertJan Roelands, Senior Vice President Commercial at France KLM Martinair Cargo. I hope you enjoyed watching this interview. If yes, like, share and recommend this video to your friends. And more important, if you're not a subscriber of our YouTube channel, please do subscribe now and click the bell icon so that you do not miss any of our new videos. What's more, an audio podcast of this series is available now on Spotify. I highly recommend you check it out. Don't forget to follow Cargo Masterminds on Spotify. Join me next Monday for another episode of Cargo Masterminds presented by Cargo.one. Until we meet again, have a great week ahead. Thank you.